Hello, JCI USA. Welcome to episode 21 of Leadership Live. Tonight, I have Sue Solymosi, our NVP from JCI Canada. She'll be joining me here in a minute. This weekend, we have game night with NVP Margot and MDD Ross. That's going to be Uno at 8 p.m. And then next week will be our next murder mystery. So next week, we'll tune in for that. And we also have the JCI Conference of Americas. It's streaming live on JCI America page. So I'm going to go ahead and bring on MVP Sue. Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Good. It looks sunshiny there where you are.
It is. It's the sun sets in the back window. So
okay.
So tell us a little bit about yourself for JCI USA, the ones that I've never met you.
Hello, JCI USA. As Miranda said, I'm Sue Solymosi. I'm one of JCI Canada's 2020 National Vice Presidents. I'm one of two National Vice Presidents who are in charge of communications. So I'm in charge of external communications, which means I run the podcast, basically, for JCI Canada. And my counterpart, Harpreet Sidhu, National Vice President Harpreet, runs the social media and the internal communications between chapters. Do you want me to talk about my career or what
Sure.
Do we know? Okay. So where I started, I joined my home chapter of JCI Vernon over here on the West Coast in BC. We're right in the interior in a beautiful valley called the Okanagan. So JCI Vernon, I joined in 2012, and true JCI style, I dove straight in. My first project that I worked on was actually JCI Vernon's signature event. It was a big gala fundraiser for our hospital foundation. And I dove in by myself, chaired it by myself. I had a committee of about 14 people, but what I didn't know when I started this project was that I should have had a co-chair, like two people should have done this together, and I did it by myself, and it was overwhelming and crazy, and I told myself every day that I was learning something new and doing something outside of my comfort zone, so I went for it. 2013, I jumped on the executive team for JCI Vernon because they had a vacant spot. So I jumped in and helped with communications at the local level. And then I was social director and then chapter president in 2015. Straight on from there to the regional board and then the national board. My first run as national vice president was in 2017. And then spent a couple of years helping with growth and development and just trying to figure out where I fit in. And now I last year was given the opportunity to launch a podcast for JCI Canada, and I got really excited about it. So here I am running a podcast and hanging out with you on Leadership Live with JCI USA. This is pretty cool.
So you've actually done NVP twice now.
Yeah, this is my second time.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's the first time through, like with anything, your first time through an experience is always, that first year I felt like I was always just a little bit behind. Like there was something that I was missing and something extra I could be doing. Whereas this time through, I kind of got the reins a little bit. I kind of know what I'm doing and who I need to talk to, and I've made that many more connections. That's a pretty cool thing about JCI is that ability to make some really meaningful connections.
Absolutely.
Not just local stuff, but across the country, right? I've got friends in Quebec and now USA.
Yeah. And I love the connection that we have with JCI Canada with America.
It's pretty awesome. I really love the vision that our national presidents had together, Justin and Stefan. They've built a really amazing relationship, and between our two organizations. So I'm super impressed that, we're able to partner up with our counterparts across the border. I'm actually working with your NVP Ross, who runs your podcast in JCI USA. We're putting together a collaborative episode. I don't want to spill the beans too much. We're still working on ideas and stuff, but that'll come out in the next little while here.
Oh, well, that's super exciting.
Yeah.
So now you have these, y'all have went virtual with your conference just recently, or next week, right?
Yes. Yeah. That's a regional conference. So we have in Canada, we've got regions. We've got the BC and Yukon region, the Western Prairie region, which is in the middle, and then we've got Ontario, and then out east. Not all of the regions are super active right now, which is definitely something that we're working on, as we're always working on building new things. But our regional convention here in BC, we run every year in either April or May. And originally, as it goes at JCI style, somehow I ended up on the COC. I was originally just running the awards program for our region. And then COVID happened and our venue canceled. By the way, our venue was amazing. We were going to be on a university campus. We were going to take over the dorm rooms and have free run of the campus for the weekend. Not free run. I mean, we'll be mostly well behaved. We would have been. But then COVID happened and venue got canceled and things were being canceled all around. So our fearless leader, Senator Jean Bernier from JCI Kelowna, decided to pivot the entire convention into a virtual format. So that's happening next weekend, and we are inviting any JCI members to join us. If wherever you are in the world, it's a virtual convention. So please join us. We have Friday night, we have a debate competition happening. We'll open up with our national president, our regional president. We've got debate competition. We'll have a games room, some fun stuff happening. And then Saturday morning, our opening ceremonies includes an opening keynote from our world president. World President Ite is going to be joining us. And then we'll have effective speaking. And we've got 3 tracks of training. So we'll have JCI official training, and then we'll have a bunch of other trainings happening. Leadership and growth and personal development. We've got a Zumba beginners breakdown happening, so we'll be able to do some Zumba at some point. And then alongside that, we're also going to have a senator lounge. So we'll have a number of senators hanging out in another breakout room, telling stories and talking about their past in JCI. And then Saturday night will be the awards gala.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, it's so funny, the things that we have in common, because you just brought it up and made me remember that you're a Zumba instructor and so am I.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
I'm not leading the Zumba beginners breakdown. My mentor is leading the Zumba beginners breakdown, but How long have you been teaching Zumba?
Since 2011.
Oh, wow. 2014 is when I started. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I went from Zumba to get my CanFit Pro certification so I can teach Justin. So he just popped up and said he's a fan. Hi, Justin. I'm one of your fans too, National President Justin. I went and got my CanFit Pro certification so I can teach anything, not just Zumba. So right now I'm working on a kickboxing boot camp class, which is super intense. It's been a long time. Have you ever kickboxed before?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's intense.
So I was teaching Aqua Hit until it got cold, obviously, and then this year we were going to start it back up in the spring, but COVID-19.
Here we are.
So, yeah. But anyhow, back to JP stuff. We kind of squirreled there.
That's okay.
So yeah, we have a lot of these meetings and stuff that are obviously going virtual right now, and I know that a lot of our concerns are virtual burnout and overstimulation. I know I personally have felt it myself, and we kind of just want to reassure everyone that it's okay to take a break from all of the virtual events and stuff. Past couple of weeks, I haven't been as online with everything virtually, and I feel a little guilty that I'm not supporting everything, but I just can't,
Can we label that like JCI guilt?
FOMO?
It is. But it's constant. I'm constantly getting notifications and emails coming into my inbox with different trainings. And we have so many different ways to communicate, and all of my, what are they called? My communication lines are filled with so much virtual stuff. So yeah, it's very easy to get overwhelmed. And I mean, running a podcast, I'm listening to episodes over and over and over again. So it's a lot.
Yeah. But, and it's okay to be like, no, I can't. It's okay to say no.
It's okay to say no. I am actually working on a podcast right now about burnout and that whole other side of how to say no and when it's okay to say no. And I know it's tough. I have a hard time saying no to things, but especially when things are inspiring, right? When they're super exciting.
And for me, I don't really have a slow down. I don't have breaks. I don't have a ease. I'm just I'm going or I'm not at all. And so for me, I'm super social butterfly, and I don't like to stay at home. So when this pandemic hit and all of a sudden we're having to stay at home, like they clipped my little social butterfly wings off, and that was terrible. And so the virtual things were great, but it was, like every single night, all night, and then all day. And so, yeah.
You can only sit in front of your computer for so long.
Right.
Obviously there's a huge difference between this and talking, which is, this is awesome. But there's a difference between this and actually sitting together in a restaurant or a coffee shop or walking downtown and enjoying each other's company in person. There's a different energy for that.
Right. I'm so thankful that we do have the technology for all of this, because I don't know how I would have made it in the 80s when it cost long distance to call your friends, because so many of my friends are long distance.
I forgot about that. Paying money to dial the area code first.
Right.
Yeah. Like we've got a small town 20 minutes away. And I remember when I was in high school, it cost money to call that town, but it didn't cost them money to call us here.
Right.
So it was, anyways, now there's cell phones and text messages and live platforms. This is so cool.
Yeah, so I'm definitely glad that we have all of this, but for sure it would have been terrible if we didn't. But it is definitely okay to say no to these things.
To say no. Except for when we're here live talking to JCI USA. This is very important stuff.
That is right.
Yeah. So what else is going on in USA? You were talking about a whole bunch of social things happening. You've got Uno games happening. That's super cool.
Yeah.
Murder mystery. How does that work? I haven't done one online. That was one of the things I've said no to.
I have never done one online either until MDD Ross had offered or brought up the idea a couple of weeks ago. So we did our first one. I think it was May the 1st. And we did one last week. So he's doing a whole episode series, and we're doing it bi-weekly. And he has different actors through JCI coming on, and they're playing the suspects. And they send out little teasers throughout the week. And then on Friday night, everybody gets on Facebook Live and they watch, and they're acting it out, and we figure out who the killer is.
Oh, that's fun.
I did watch it last week, and like I said, I was in the first one. Last week was the second episode, and I really enjoyed watching it. Watching it was a lot of fun.
Was it like watching a TV show almost?
Yeah, well, acting in it was a lot of fun too, but I really preferred watching it
than acting in it.
Well, I think because when I was acting in it, we already knew how it ended, so
right. I'm trying to think of the things that Canada's doing. We're doing less social stuff. Like chapters are doing social stuff within themselves, like trivia nights and that kind of thing. I know there's a chapter that's close here. JCI Penticton has been running a leadership night on Tuesdays. They come online on Tuesdays and just visit and talk about leadership stuff. But a murder mystery would be really cool. Now my wheels are turning, but
Well, definitely. I think the next one is next Friday. So tune into that and see how that's your conference.
Oh yeah, debate competition. I can't do both. Although given the opportunity, I might try, but I'm not going to. I will.
Well, the thing is that it's saved on Facebook and it's on our YouTube channel. So awesome. You can watch it on our YouTube channel at any time.
Is this going to be on a YouTube channel?
Yep.
I thought it was live and I wouldn't have to be like,
yes,
this morning.
This is uploaded to our YouTube channel, and there will be a link on our Pinterest. And awesome. So, yeah.
Very awesome. Cool. I did this. I want to share because I want to share with the world. I did this workshop last week, and while it was exhausting having that extra thing that I had to do, it was such a cool workshop. It was on vocal image and vocal mastery and how to engage people with your voice, not just your visual image of what you look like, but when you open your mouth, people are making assumptions about who you are. And I wanted to share that. I've been working a lot on, I have a lot more work to do and there's always room for growth and development, but I thought it was very relevant with the podcast and all of this virtual stuff that we're doing to have training like that. So can I tell you just the 5 key elements of your vocal image?
I would love it.
Okay. You have your rate of speech. So how fast you're talking. The faster you're talking, the less that people are going to retain that information. So you need to slow down when you're saying something important. The volume of speech. So on a scale of like 1 to 10, you're going to have the most confidence in your voice around that 6 mark. 6. If you go to 7, maybe a little loud, around that 6 mark. So rate of speech, your volume. You've got your tonality, so the emotion that's under your voice, so what people are feeling when you're talking. Your melody. Did you know that there's melody under your voice, like music? Mm-hmm. If you have more melody, it's more memorable. Cool. And the last one is pause, your ability to use the pause. That was a pause right there.
So I'm terrible with my speed of speech.
Your rate of speech.
Yeah, I talk
but
very fast.
Even just knowing those 5 things, you think about it, you're like, oh yeah, I hear that. It's cool.
I've been trying to work on how fast I talk ever since I did my first leadership showcase thing where I had to stand up at national convention and talk, because went through a 5-minute speech in like 3.5 or something, maybe not even that long. And
that's pretty fast.
I'm extremely loud.
So fast and loud.
Mm-hmm. But a lot of it's because I think I have this attention problem. Like, I want all of the attention. Give me all of the attention. So
what? We're both Zumba instructors.
Yes. I want all of the attention all of the time. So I have only met one person that's louder than me, and that's our leadership development director, Heather. She gives me a run for my money. She's a little bit louder than I am.
I'm on the same page in liking the attention and being outgoing. I wouldn't say I'm a loud person. I don't know. Our people who are watching can call me out on that if they think that I'm loud. But I don't know. I'm pretty sweet. I think I'm very sweet.
I think I'm sweet too, but I'm
you are
definitely loud. Definitely loud. I want everyone. I want everyone in the room to know I'm in the room. So
Awesome. Awesome. What else can we talk about, Miranda?
I don't know. Do we have anybody that wants to ask NVP Sue any questions?
Wait. See, Ross is on and Justin. Hi, Krista. Bethany. No questions? Yeah. What are your plans after this year? How about we talk about that? I'll ask you questions.
I don't really have any. I'm getting close to that age out time. So yeah. So I've got a couple of years left, but that's about it. So I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna take it easy for a while, but we'll see.
I'm sure you'll get sucked into something.
I get voluntold for a lot of things.
Yeah. It'll be really interesting to see how everything shifts once we're all fully out of this COVID situation, how everything's going to be new. So we've got a whole new normal, right?
Yep.
So
it'll definitely be interesting. Oh, we've got IPP Crispin has joined us.
Hi, Crispin.
More Canada in the house.
More Canada.
So hopefully that it all shifts and I'll be able to attend the y'all's convention in September. He's invited me to that.
Yeah. That's our national convention. I mean, any convention that's where you're going to find the real good stuff of JCI. Mm-hmm. Those the members who are the most dedicated and want to do all the things.
Right. That's what I keep telling most of the local members that I speak with when they ask how to get people more involved. I'm like, you've got to get them to a national convention because they don't really get it until they go. And they even if it's not a national convention, if they just go outside their state, sometimes even outside their chapter and go to visit another chapter, they'll just get it then and they'll understand, why we do what we do.
So. I think that's a cool thing about this whole virtual stuff is that we can showcase what it is that we do and how passionate our members are. There's
some great events still being ran through JC's.
That's awesome.
So yeah, there's been a lot of different organizations in USA. I'm getting tongue tied. In USA, in USA, and all of the I've seen them in other countries doing it as well.
Awesome. Yeah. Sorry. I have a puppy. The puppy, and I don't know if he's getting into something back here. Okay. No, we're good.
She got a new puppy.
My
life. Well, I will. And it is our 100th year anniversary.
Right.
So, awesome. MDD Ross and I have been trying to collect 100 awesome stories in honor of our 100-year anniversary. And I think I'm up to like 60 something now.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So I would like to hear your YUJC story. You already told us kind of pretty much why you joined, but.
I told you when I joined. So another thing that we worked on in this workshop that I did last week was how to tell stories. So I've been trying to revamp my JCI story. We'll see how this goes. I don't know how it's going to go.
Okay.
Okay, I'll take you back to 2011. 2011, I graduated university, and it was that was a goal. It wasn't like I worked on a set degree over 4 years. It was something that I worked on and off over the course of 10 years. It took me 10 years to finish my university degree. So there I was at my convocation. I got my plaque and my flowers and pictures were being taken and I was so proud. And it was a monumental event. I was filled with this pride. And then we left the campus and we were driving home and I felt this, it was anticlimactic. I felt a void in my stomach. I was like, no, but now there's something missing, right? I've been chasing this dream for 10 years to finish my degree, chasing knowledge, chasing education. And I was done. That was it. What next, right? So that chapter closed. And the next thing I knew, JCI appeared in my life. And so it was this whole new take on education and knowledge. And so graduating university left me with a void, which I filled with JCI and everything that I learn and do in JCI. And so it's been 8 years. I joined early in 2012, and I have, how old am I? I'm 36. I have 4 years left. So there's a few things that I want to do, but we'll see what happens with this COVID and how JCI transforms. But that's where I started. I stayed because I continue to learn and grow and meet new people and make new connections. There's always something new to do and to be inspired by in JCI. So that's my biggest why is the knowledge and the learning and the people. Some of my very favorite people are the people that I know through JCI. Why I joined, why I stayed, and what else? Was there anything else on that, or was that kind of
share why you JC story? Yeah,
that's it.
What about your favorite JC memory?
Oh man, I think there's so many. I'm thinking back. Okay, so let's see. My very first national convention was in Ontario. And so I went with one of my best friends, who I met through JCI. She's in JCI Vernon. We flew to Ontario, Ajax, Ontario, just outside of Toronto. And I learned about myself that I'm the type of person that will stay up till 3 or 4 in the morning talking to people because I want to be around these people all the time. I don't see them all the time. Hi, Michael. And what I learned was that my girlfriend who I went with is not one of those people. So she would always go back to the room and I would stay out till 3 or 4 in the morning. And there's a puppy eating things. So it started a tradition. Every time I would come back at 3 or 4 in the morning, invariably she would wake up. I would try to sneak in and make no noise. Sorry, hang on. I would try to sneak in and make no noise, and it started. So every time we do this now, I ask her if she still loves me. do you still love me? I don't change anything. I still stay out till 3 or 4 in the morning. I have to make sure that she's still good.
Yeah, I'm the same in that aspect. And there again, I don't have breaks because I know I'm not going to get to see these people for a very long time. And so I try to get it all in and as much as I can. And so I'm usually up pretty late. And on the way home, I hate myself.
No. I usually am tired, exhausted, and have this goofy smile on my face. I mean, there's one other memory that I have. It's a recurring, like recurring dreams, like a recurring memory. I hug everybody. I love hugs. Hugs are so good for the soul. And the longer the hug, the more meaningful they are. And if you can pile multiple JCs into one hug and call it a cuddle puddle.
I've never heard that.
It's not my term. I heard it from another JCI chapter, but I got charged in a kangaroo court with another chapter for creating too many cuddle puddles.
That's hilarious.
I don't think there's an issue with it. Maybe right now when we're not actually supposed to be beating each other.
I don't know. I mean, I do hug JCs, but in normal life, I'm not a hugger. But I do hug all the JCs just because I see them once a year. So there is our one difference. I'm not a hugger. I'm not a toucher. And Krista is the hugger. And when she and I have to share a bed, I'm always the big spoon. So because she's a cuddler.
I will take whatever side of the spoon you'll give me.
That's Krista. So, every time we've had to share a bed, I'm like, I'm having to snuggle her. So
you have to. I like how you say you have to. I think there's a rubber arm in there.
She just like comes up to you. I think it's because she's used to sleeping with all of her kids too. So there's that.
I love it. That's awesome.
So, but yeah, so that's a great memory. And we have, let's see, Crispin says JCI Disney was a fun memory with you.
Oh yeah. And Crispin, I don't know if any of you guys have met, I'm sure many of you have met Crispin, but he is a walking encyclopedia. This guy knows everything. So walking through Disneyland with Crispin was like fun fact about every step of the way. And it was really cool because it was mostly deserted when we went, because Elton John was playing a concert. So everybody was in this Elton John concert. We couldn't see anything, but we got all the rides, like first in line for everything. It was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is cool. So,
yeah.
Let's see. So yeah, we, so then, yeah, well,
let's see. Michael, thank you for the shout out about the podcast. It's, everybody approaches it a little bit differently. I am trying to publish every 2 weeks. It's a lot of work, but I get so excited every time I do an interview, and then I listen back to the interview, and conversations always go a lot better than I think they do.
Well, you are your own worst critic.
Right. Which is why I have somebody else edit the podcast before I listen to it. You take out all the things. Yeah.
I think Ross does his own. I'm pretty sure Emily did too last year. So
I started that way. And then after I spent 6 hours on a 15-minute conversation, I was like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this for myself. I'm not helping myself.
That's why I do the live videos, because there's no editing them. The only thing I can edit is go back and add a thumbnail so that I don't have a crazy face.
What?
On the Frozen.
What's wrong with the crazy face?
It's always one of the craziest. Yeah, to be like,
freeze, like.
Exactly. So yeah. But
all right.
Well, I guess I can let you go. We have been on here on a record time, so 7:30. And well, thank you so much for joining me and sharing your story and adding to my 100 awesome stories and for our 100th anniversary. And
this was fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun. So I really do enjoy doing these. So this has been my favorite, aside from my state stuff that I do. But as far as national vice president, this is probably my favorite thing aside from my states. I really enjoy my states, but
yeah. Was this like your brainchild? Were you like, we should do live stuff?
No, this was Ross's last year. Ross started this last year, and then I brought it back this year. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
and it's never been more relevant, I suppose. Hey,
true. It's probably a good thing that I had gotten my feet wet with this. Now that everything's virtual and online, so
right.
Wasn't as nervous with live videos after that.
This is my first live video, so I made faces and did some weird things. So.
Yeah. Well, you get used to it because it's really just like we're talking to each other and then have a couple of friends watching us.
Yeah, and I didn't even put my headphones on, so I don't look like a DJ or anything.
Well, I have mine on. You just can barely see.
You?
Oh,
look at you.
You can just barely see them.
I don't. I just have hair.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. And next week we have JCI Senate joining us. We'll have the President Lawrence and AVP Ariel and IPP Trisha will be joining us next week for Leadership Live. And don't forget Game Week, Game Night Saturday, and the JCI Americas Conference of Americas is going on virtually this weekend as well. And thank you all for joining us.
If you don't go to the Murder Mystery,
Yeah, Murder
join us
Mystery.
for the regional convention.
That's correct.
Thank you.
All right. I will talk to you soon then, MVP Sue.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.